Hey, it's Austin, and I decided to do my online teaching experience orally, and I'll be answering questions that way. We'll first start with the discuss the strengths or weaknesses for the online and field experience or GAVS. I believe some of the strengths of the online field experience or GAVS would have to be just getting to know how the online class works in general and how to navigate through that. As before, I had no clue really how to set up an online class with the structure wise, what to ask of the students, and anything of that nature. I'd probably say the strength of that would be some students need to have additional aid and go back and retake a course, or just simply if they want to go ahead and take the course in advance. That's the strength that this GAVS gives these students. Say a weakness of this would honestly just be the personal interaction with each other, but that's any kind of weakness you'll find with any kind of online teaching course and whatnot. So that would probably be the biggest weakness I'll find with these GAVS course. And anytime you have online discussion and teaching, you're going to have a harder time conveying what you're actually trying to say at times, just through typing and whatnot. Um, so we'll discuss the strengths and weaknesses of the SANDBOX module experience. Now the strength of this would be absolutely is getting the knowledge and the practice in designing a template of, to, you know, to, sorry I lost words, a template in which you can use to set up an online class where before you'd have no clue, but with this you would know the type of information needed to like the instruction, the assignment, the Dropbox material, and even you can add quizzes, etc. It's a pretty good strength to know how to set that up and what was taught through that experience setting up that SANDBOX module. A weakness? I'm not really sure. I felt it did a pretty good job explaining what you need to do to set up a unit and how to go from there to expand upon different units and ultimately create a course online. Was the online field experience as you expected? Well, in my situation, it wasn't necessarily as expected because I expected an econ course, but was given I think it was a pre-calculus course. So it was like a crash course in trying to get on the wagon of understanding pre-calculus. It's been only 12 years. So it wasn't quite as expected. But outside of that, it was what I expected. I expected there to be a clear, defined video with the teacher going over it after, obviously, they have a live session with discussion posts, assessments, tests, Dropbox work, everything that we've been going over in my master's program, so it was as expected. The student responses were a little bit more than I expected in a good way. They were very detailed and well thought out, so that was a little bit more expected with that field experience. What are some ways the field experience partnership with GAVS could be improved? Um, there was a bit of a disconnect, I would say, between us and the teacher. There was really no communication with us and the teacher. I'm not sure if that's even possible, but I feel like it could be improved if we can actually talk to the teacher and understand what they're doing to get a better understanding of what we should do going forward with either creating a GAVS class or just instruction in the class in general. It'd just be nice to open up that line of communication with teacher and student to get a better understanding of what's going on. What personal strengths or weaknesses you have noticed? I would say personal strength is navigating and creating work for online classes. That would definitely be a strength. Another strength would be just creating the content. It came pretty naturally. A weakness would probably be, at times, understanding the grade setup, like once you were actually in the grades box as the instructor, it was a little bit cumbersome and confusing. Another weakness in regards to the SANDBOX module and GAVS experience would honestly be being a little bit lost, like I mentioned before, in what we were observing at times, and that could be partly due to the content I was observing. As far as the SANDBOX, like I said, it came pretty naturally, so there wasn't too much weakness, but any kind of formatting could probably be worked upon just to be more clear and concise. How will this online field experience enable you to move forward as a teacher? Like I said, it was valuable information of how to create an online course and the layout necessary to do so. So that is definitely something I can do, is moving on forward as a teacher. Additionally, setting up my instruction in a clear, organized path, and the structure of a unit, like giving an introduction, the content, the assessment, the Dropbox, things like that. Not necessarily in an online class, but translate it to an actual class in the units. Overall, I had a great time with the SANDBOX. GAVS experience was unique just because of the circumstances, but I did gather some pretty valuable information from it. And thank you for your time. I hope you have a good one.